Hello everyone and welcome back to F122 How to Master series. I'm Brendan Lee, two-time Formula 1 esports world champion, and today I'm going to teach you how to master USA COTA on F122. So, jumping straight into it, we're going to be getting into the setup that I recommend. So, 37, 34, 53, 50, right, right, left, left, 212174 150 minimum front tire pressures and 21.0 on the rear. So with that being said, let's jump straight into the driving part of the video. As you'll be opening up your qualifying lap here, you're going to be opening up and staying all the way to the right hand side. Really critical. Putting fourth gear, as that'll give you the best traction on the exit. You can see getting the car nice and straight and opening up the power. DRS open, and this line will give you about half a tenth on the run up to turn 1, so it's worth having. Turn 1, you'll be all the way over the curb on the right hand side, braking and using the black box on the right hand side as your reference marker. As soon as you go past that, down into fourth gear, as you rise over the crest, you sort of have to turn in and blind and trust that the apex will be there. Stay in fourth gear and keep the car straight over the downhill, because as you go downhill it's quite easy to lose traction, so you want to keep the car as straight as possible, and that'll help you maximize a little bit more traction that can bring lap time. Commit over the curb on the right hand side, easily flat out. Now you'll be 7th gear, flat out again, and now this will be a lift, keep in 7th gear, now go down to 6th gear, and you'll be looking to kiss the curb on the inside once again. Keep in 6th gear, now down to 5th gear, take the curb on the inside, now bring the car to the left hand side. Really critical that you keep the car to the left hand side and keeping a little bit on this red part of the track, because what that's going to do as you ride over the crest of these two turns, it's going to give you the best exit possible. The tyres are going to be very, very hot right now, so it's quite easy to lose time and a bit of traction in this whole process. Use up all the curb on the inside, keep it in 5th gear, now open up this turn left hand side, use the curb on the inside, now hard on the power, using up all the astroturf, all the track on the right hand side, flat out through the kink left. Now coming up to a really difficult braking zone, critical to get a good exit here onto the back straight. Braking just before the 15-meter board, down into 4th gear, using up as much road on the inside as possible, because what that's going to do is open up the track and use up all the curb on the exit as well. Like I say, this corner is 100% focused about getting good traction and good momentum onto the straight, opening up DRS, 6th, 7th gear, 8th gear on the straight. You can see choosing the path of least distance. Now coming up in the braking zone, you'll be spotting that 100-meter board, and you'll be braking all the way on the curb on the right hand side like this. 100-meter board, bang, hard on the brake, and you're going down to 4th gear. There's a little bit of a cheeky little secret on this turn that you'll see a lot of esports drivers doing. You can actually cut it quite a lot and get your car fully over that orange part of the curbing. Really critical to do, in fact. Avoid the curb on the exit here. Now swing the car left, 5th gear in qualifying. Now you're going down 1 gear. As you can see, the track kind of falls away from us as we get to the apex here, so it goes down and goes back up, so it's quite easy for the car to slide as you're reaching the apex here. You'll be in 4th gear. Do not take any of the curbing inside. That's going to hurt your traction out of the corners too much. Now what you'll be doing is pointing the car straight here, so you'll be modulating the power, really smooth on the power. Pull 5th gear for the traction, and now here you're going to be straight, and as soon as you're straight, bang, you can hit 100% power. Bring the car over to the right hand side, and you see this little crest in the road here. You can see this little tire mark on my left hand tire here. You can see maybe a little bit better. You can just about see it as it's going in a straight line. You want to be using this as your reference to keep on following around the corner, and it can be a nice little secret to gain a little bit of lap time here and help you reach this apex a little bit more consistently. You do not want to be taking any of the red, white or orange part of the curbing, as it's going to hurt your traction too much on the exit. And speaking of the exit, do not use any of the curbing again. Just keep it completely on the tarmac for maximum traction. 4th gear, you pull 5th, pull 6th. Now you bring opening up this right hander easily flat out, kiss the curb on the inside, and keep the car to the inside for the least distance possible. Coming up to probably the hardest difficulty turn on the whole track. Black box on the right hand side is your braking marker, and you'll be going down into 6th gear for this left hander. And you can see, do not take the orange curb, but only taking the red and white part of the curb, and the track will fall away from you as you get towards the exit. So be careful not to extend here, but you want to be using up all the road on the exit, as it's really critical to gain lap time here. Now braking all the way on the red and white curb, and braking when this white line starts underneath the car, and going down to 4th gear, and that will be taking you for the final corner. As you go through the final corner, it goes up a hill, so on the initial turning you have so much grip as you're going up the hill, but as you crest over, you're actually going to lose grip as the car becomes unloaded. When you're going uphill, you have more grip. When you're going downhill, you have less grip. So it gives the sensation as you go over the hill and now the track is flat again, you're going to have less grip, and it's quite easy to over predict the grip that you're going to have and start sliding and lose momentum on to the pit straight. On a qualifying lap, you're going to be using up all this AstroTurf on the right hand side, opening up DRS as soon as possible, as it's going to help you gain a bit more momentum onto the pit straight. But speaking of momentum, speaking of the pit straight, let's get into a full speed lap to give you a good demonstration. Turn 1, black box on the right hand side, down into 4th gear, spot the blind apex, look for a good exit, keep the car straight on the power. 5th gear, 6th gear, flat out for the right hander. 7th gear, now you can see flat, flat, just a left, keep it in 7th gear, down into 6th gear, now through the right hander, now through the left hander, and now you can see down into 5th gear. Really difficult to get on the power here, really smooth throttle application needed to manage the tyre temperatures all the way throughout the lap. Now we're coming down, brake just before the 50 meter board, like I say, down into 4th gear, now smooth on the power, use up all the road on the exit. Now what you can do is keep the car on this red part of the track. It's going to be a few meters less distance down the straight, so it's lap time worth having. Any lap time is worth having. Spot the 100 meter board, down into 4th gear, and you can see kissing the curb on the inside and actually cutting it, like I say, up to 5th gear momentarily, down to 4th gear again, through the right hander, now smooth on the power, short shift to 5th. When you think you can get to full power, you can see following that crest on the inside like I talked about in the previous lap, and that'll give you a good momentum, a good line throughout the right hander, through the left hander I mean. But speaking of the right hander, 6th gear, easily flat out through here, now coming up to the most difficult turn, black box on the right hand side, down to 6th gear, kiss the curb on the inside, smooth on the power as the track falls away, now through the left hander, down to 4th gear. See the car is starting to slide over the crest of the hill, so that's what I talked about with over predicting the traction. So we're going to go through one more lap. So black box on the right hand side, down to 4th gear, look for a good exit, and now smooth on the power as the track falls away from you. Now on the power through the right hander, 7th gear, you can see flat out again, lift, keep it in 7th, lift, down to 6th, dab on the brake. Now you can see keep it in 6th for momentum throughout these corners. Now you can see down to 5th gear for this final right hander, smooth on the power, over the crest of the hill, keep the car stable on the power, use up all the road, flat out for the kink left. Now coming down, braking just before the 50 meter board, down to 4th gear. You can see now rotate the car through, lovely jubbly on the power, nice and smoothly. Right now, open up DRS, and like I say, using a bit of the orange track, keep the car and keep the lap time as short as possible to maximize the ability to go faster. Look at the 100 meter board, down into 4th gear. Now you can see taking all the curb on the inside, trying to cut it as much as possible. Now in 4th gear, short shift 5th for the traction. Now down to 4th gear again momentarily. You can see short shift to 5th. You can see the traction is so limited there. But as soon as you think you can get to full power, short shift to 5th and floor it. Now looking for a good exit. Bring the car to the left hand side. 5th gear, 6th gear. You can see running a little bit wide there. I turned in a bit too late, and that's the effect it can have. There's a lot of oversteer. Black box on the right hand side, down to 6th gear. So you kiss the curb on the inside, hard on the power. Now coming to the final corner, try and predict the traction perfectly as you rise over the crest, and that time we did it pretty good. Open up DRS, and that is a lap here in COTA. So if you have found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps massively in trying to grow this channel, because I want to put out content that can be educational and help you and everyone in the world get better at sim racing as well. So if you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe like I just say, and I'll catch you for the next video. Ciao, ciao.